welcome back to Cryptowise. My name is Marvin.
And my name is Milton.
What up, Milton? We are back. We are back. Sorry about any technical issues on the last one. But anyways, we are back. We're back with vengeance. Things are going absolutely crazy in crypto land these days. It is a volatile, turbulent time, to say the least. Wouldn't you say? I think so. Things have been absolutely nuts. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for being here. Smash that like button. Let's crush that YouTube algo and get Cryptowise to the top where it belongs, shall we? If you haven't already, please do us a huge favor and smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and click on that little bell. If you're watching the show on a phone, you're gonna have to click X on the chat, minimize the chat, smash that like, and you can open the chat back. Also, if you don't already, please follow us on Twitter at Cryptowise Guys. That's right, Cryptowise Guys. Our new Twitter is back, and we've got a lot of things going on there. And our website, cryptowise.com, is up, and it's looking real good, guys. And we've got our Cryptowise Insider newsletter that you can sign up to on our website. And of course, if you don't already, you may want to follow us on Telegram at Cryptowise Official. We've got a lot of people talking crypto 24/7 in our Telegram group, so I highly recommend you join us there. You can see the link at the bottom right of this video. Guys, I want to jump right into the markets. Things have been absolutely crazy. Bitcoin is back over 48,000 at 48,736. It is holding strong, trying its best to get back up over 50 and maintain that line at 48K. So I'm really happy to see it back up over 40K. We've got Ethereum at 3662. It is down. It is down. Now, I did sell some of my ETH bags, as you may know from our last video, over the weekend, and I am looking like a very smart man because I sold over 4,000 and we're back down where I thought we might go, and I wanted to take some of my profits off the table so that I would have some stable coins to buy the next dip, and the dip is here. It is looking a little bloody. BNB 555, some crazy news coming on Binance that we're going to talk about in today's show. What the hell is going on and what to do next with Binance. XRP at $1.31. Cardano is one of the only unicorns up right now on the day at over 8% up on the day at $1.88. Dogecoin is down almost 18% on the day, but making a recovery on the hour. And we've got our beloved Polkadot holding strong at $39.53. It is also up about 1% on the hour, about 1% on the day, thanks to some bullish news on Kusama yesterday with the Kusama Parachains, which KSM has also been pumping. It's but it's down a bit today. It's up still. Well, no, it's not down today. It's at almost up 13% on the day, but it has been higher today. It's back up here over almost at $560. Kusama is on fire, and everything Polkadot right now is doing really well. Milton, how are you, my friend? What is going on?
Well, I've been better, obviously, like all other crypto-wisers. I'm a little bit nervous. This is not the market that I had hoped for. I don't know what the heck Elon was thinking. Of course, we're going to be talking about the big news, his big tweet, and what that did to the market. We're going to be going in depth on that. Don't worry about that. We got to talk about that. But first, why don't we talk about this breaking news that came out today, the Binance news that seems to be killing BNB.
Do me a big favor, Milty, and share your screen for us. Also, I just want to give a quick shout out while you're doing that to some of the people that are here. We've got 52 people here, 18 likes. Please, guys, smash the likes. We want to beat that YouTube algo. As I said, Florian, hello, how are you? Audrey, Charlie, what is up, my friend? Ryan, my boy, you are here. Yes. Petros, the captain, is in the house. JK Videos, Shell, oh my gosh. JK, what up? Anyways, Milton, sorry, I have to say hi to our peeps.
Oh, we got to say hi to everyone. It's so great to see everyone, especially now that we've been doing the live shows here and there now, and it's great to see return viewers. We really appreciate you guys coming back and watching the show.
Yes.
So let's talk about this Binance news. The other thing I love about these live shows, Marv, obviously, they go so smoothly for us. We never have any sort of technical difficulties, nothing like that. I'm not having any deja vu right now telling the audience about this breaking news. Okay, this just happened today. As you and I were prepping for the show, you said, "Did you hear the news?" And I had not heard the news yet. The news being that Binance is reportedly under investigation from the IRS and the Justice Department. And actually, to me, this is a bit of a nothing burger in terms of news. Okay. All it says is that major cryptocurrency exchange Binance is reportedly under investigation by both the United States Department of Justice and Internal Revenue Service. Now, most people in the US will already know they can't use Binance or normal Binance. And a lot of people go around, use VPNs. I'm not saying who, I'm not saying I would ever do that. But and so, I think Binance is working with the US. They've been working really hard trying to adhere to all the regulations. I think this is a bit of a nothing burger. You see here on Twitter, CZ just came out earlier today. He says the news in quotations. Title is bad. The article itself isn't so bad, actually. And I kind of agree with him. And he says that it describes how Binance collaborated with law enforcement agencies to fight bad players, but somehow made it look like a bad thing. Anyways, back to work. And the thing that worries me the most about this news, Marv, is the FUD after FUD after FUD. And when people are feeling really good, when they're feeling strong, confident, you get this kind of news and it doesn't really do anything. But we're seeing what it's doing today, obviously on the heels of the Elon news, and people obviously nervous because BNB is down almost 14%.
It is. I'm going to bring it back up. I've got Trading View here for you, Milton, so we can get a better sense of what BNB is doing. And I think you're right. It's on the heels, right, of what happened yesterday with Mr. Musk and the stock market's not doing so well on that dip. So the timing of this news is more important than the news itself, I think.
I agree. It's the timing and now the reaction to it. So the fact that we're getting this big of a dip on this kind of news, I'm wondering though, and if you want to bring up my screen again, just for a second here, Marv, I'm wondering if this is combining with it. The fact that Binance Smart Chain has been going through some congestion issues for the first time. And I know that you use BSC. I use it too. And over the weekend, I noticed that a lot of my transactions weren't going through or it wasn't as fast. I was getting errors in a way that I never had before on BSC. And clearly, it's very, very popular now. They're getting way more traffic than they ever have. And the chain itself was showing some signs of weakness. And so I'm wondering if this is also contributing to this price dip. If, people were any excuse to kind of see a weakness in Binance, and now this investigation report comes out, and maybe it's a double whammy here for Binance. So you could throw your Trading View back up there, Marv. I just wanted to mention that because I think that has kind of an effect. At least it had an effect with me. I don't know. Did you notice that at all while you're using BSC this weekend?
I mean, I did notice it. And to be honest, I've noticed it a few times over the last few weeks that, periodically I'll get an error and I'll have to redo a transaction. Or sometimes the fee is a little bit higher than what I'm used to. But overall, it's been pretty steady, I must say. At the same time, look, BNB is at just over $550 here, Milton. And I'm thinking... it's looking like a tasty buy. If we get a quick recovery, we could easily see BNB back over 650, close to 700, real quick. And so this, to me, I don't think the news that Binance is, they're saying it's being investigated. Binance has always been 100% forthcoming with their investigations, and they tend to nip them in the butt pretty quick. And I think they've made a strong effort over the last couple of years to exclude Americans from even trying to use Binance to remove that. So I'm not sure the news, so to speak, will stick very long. And the congestion issues, I can't really speak to that. Obviously, that tells me that Binance is growing, BNB is growing, the smart chain is growing.
Yeah, I'm not worried about this news at all in terms of the investigation. To me, that is a perfect buy the dip kind of opportunity. The only thing that makes me a bit nervous is one, the overall market, what's going on with that, and then two, if some of these other ecosystems, the Polygons, the Solanas, if Cardano ever actually launches anytime soon, I do think that Binance has had this window right now. BSC has had this window of being the ETH alternative, and
That is
it
very
is kind
true.
of a no-brainer. They've had kind of that space all to themselves. We know that the parachains are going to be launching very soon. So my concern around BNB is more on that, is like, okay, so what is the top of BNB? Because I do think they're going to be losing some market share to some of these other layer one solutions. But when, the timing of that, I'm not quite sure. So I do think that at this point, I would say this is probably a short-term buying opportunity, because I think if there can be a quick bounce back here, that BNB can go back up to that 650 for sure and higher. But in the next few months, would BNB be a play for me? I'd actually be looking at some of these other plays.
Yeah, long term for sure. I'm with you on that. I mean, look, we don't talk about Cardano much on this channel. You guys know that. But at the same time, I got to bring it up. ADA, Cardano is trading up on the day. One of the only big boys trading up on the day. And it's almost at $2. It's at $1.88. I'm looking at their charts right now. Significant growth. I mean, look at this on the 24. It is up, and it is up strong. And I know their smart contracts are coming. And so, yeah, I mean, to your point, will this take a lot of the air out of Binance Smart Chain? Yes. The answer is likely yes. Now, Binance has had a long time now during this bull to get a lot of people utilizing it, and people are having a lot of fun with these yield programs. Cake has done tremendously well, and we know there's hundreds of projects coming out on BSC. So do they have enough of a footing? Maybe. I'm still bullish on Binance over the next couple of months. And I think, Binance ain't going anywhere here, Milton. They're not going anywhere. And so they know that Polkadot's coming. They know that Cardano's coming. They know these things. So what do they have up their sleeve? I don't know. But
yeah, I definitely don't think they're going anywhere for sure. I like them as a kind of a risk-free play. To me, it's just, what's the value versus some of these other bigger coins? I don't see Binance dropping out of the top 10 or say top 15 anytime soon, but are they going to be like top 3, top 4, top 5? I don't think so. And I feel like that's my only concern, is what's the top for Binance chain, and did we see it? Because as I said, they had the whole Binance Smart Chain. I think this is their moment where they have all the attention, all the projects are launching on them, all this stuff. So they're creating a great ecosystem over there. I think it's going to last, but will there be a dip in BNB eventually? I think there will be. But as we said, this is coming off of the heels of another big news piece, which was Elon Musk's Twitter tweet.
Boy.
Okay. So we got to talk about this. This is ridiculous. Okay. So this was yesterday. This is Elon Musk comes out. He says, Tesla has suspended vehicle purchases using Bitcoin. We are concerned about rapidly increasing use of fossil fuels for Bitcoin mining and transactions, especially coal, which is the worst emissions of any fuel. Blah, 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 blah. He says they haven't sold any of their Bitcoin. Well, they did sell a little bit that we saw, but they're whatever they had left, they're keeping, but they're not going to accept Bitcoin to buy Teslas right now. And really, Elon, come on. Did you really have to tweet it? Did you have to make this decision? This seems like this is you live by the sword, you die by the sword. Okay, we love when Elon pumps crypto, but the man is a madman, and he clearly does not put a lot of thought behind what he says or or what he speaks. I love the guy, but this just seemed kind of ridiculous. I don't know what you thought about this one.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It kind of breaks my heart a bit. I love Elon. I sent him a nice little note yesterday. He never replied to me. He never has. But I always like to share my opinion. I think, you know what? At the end of the day, I actually think that Elon is a little bit butthurt at the losses that Doge saw after the SNL debut last weekend. I think it's hurt his ego a bit. I have the sneaky suspicion. Because in his tweet, he also says they're exploring other cryptocurrencies, right? And so I have the sneaky suspicion, don't hold me to it, that this whole play that you won't be able to buy a Tesla with Bitcoin right now might just be a way for him to open the door for Doge. I know what they're doing with SpaceX. They're naming a rocket Doge and all this kind of stuff. At the same time, I also believe that the meme coins, so to speak, the dogs, are dying. I know what we saw yesterday with Vitalik and the other coin there, Shib or whatever the hell it is. One part of me thinks that the dog's day is coming. At the other side, I think Elon, he's not going to give up. He's not going to give up, and this might be part of that. I could be completely wrong.
Yeah, I think there's a few theories out there, and we heard some kind of big profile people talk about this morning. Pomp was on one of the kind of business shows talking about that. I think we have a clip of that. Do we, Marv? Maybe we should. Yeah, I've got it. Listen right to what Pomp had to say, and then we can react to what his reaction was, because I think he's got a good theory too.
Just kind of stick to the facts, right? And I always say, don't listen to what they're saying, just watch what they're doing. Elon Musk is still long billions of dollars of Bitcoin. Between Tesla, SpaceX, and personally, Elon Musk owns billions of dollars of Bitcoin, and he's not selling it because of this kind of energy narrative. The second thing is that the facts are overwhelming. 75% of miners use some form of renewable energy. And the reason is because the financial incentive is for miners to go around the world and find the cheapest power. That is their biggest cost input when they're mining Bitcoin. And so they're financially incentivized to go find this renewable power. And when you start to look at the comparisons of how much coal is used in Bitcoin mining, it's dwarfed by things like the coal that is used in the banking system. Or you'll hear a lot of times people will say things like, there's more electricity consumed by the Bitcoin network than in some countries. But what people fail to say is that the American consumer, their use of Christmas lights consume more power in a given year than some countries' electricity consumption. And so I think what we've got to just remember here is that the financial incentive is to adopt renewable power. We have a lot of overwhelming data. There's been study after study after study done that shows that is what miners are doing. And I think that what we're going to see here is that this is going to be a launching pad for Tesla to eventually launch a renewable power mining rig or some sort of mining equipment.
I believe that too, Milton. That's another part of it that I didn't say that I also agree with. What is Musk working on in the background that he wants to launch soon with respect to cryptocurrency and renewable power?
I agree with that 100%. There's no way that Elon and Tesla and whatever other companies he wants to start, SpaceX, aren't going to be involved in or couldn't be involved in figuring out how to make Bitcoin more environmentally friendly. And as Pomp said, over 70% of the mining of Bitcoin is done through renewable energy. Now, yeah, are there some mines out there, especially in China, that are using kind of some of the worst kind of fossil fuel type of energy? Yeah, of course. But in terms of what's going to lead the way for renewable energy, I agree with him. I think it's going to be Bitcoin and cryptocurrency because, as he said, the main cost for mining is electricity. Any edge, the edge you get from being a miner that can use renewable energy that can be cheaper, they're going to do it. And so the cheaper renewable energy becomes, every miner who's mining Bitcoin is going to be leading the way. They're going to be the first ones to go to that cheaper energy.
Surely, this isn't the first time that Elon Musk has thought about the impact that Bitcoin mining has had on the environment. Surely he knew about that prior to his earlier announcements about Tesla accepting Bitcoin. So the
Of
question
course
is,
he did.
what
That's why
was
it
the
was so
catalyst
weird.
for this
Yeah.
decision?
That's the thing that was so weird about it is, yeah, I agree with you. Of course he knew this. And yeah, so what was the reaction to it? We do know that, we talked about it on one of the live shows too, that Bill Maher had come out and did a big rant against crypto. And at the end of that rant, he talked about how it was not eco-friendly. And, Michael Saylor, who,
I have a clip of that as well, actually, here handy if you want to see
okay,
it.
great. Yeah, we do have this clip because Michael Saylor's the best. I mean, the way. So this is a great clip. This is his reaction to the Bill Maher. So this is even before Elon Musk made his pronouncement. Although he did also react on Twitter to Elon Musk, which was great. But let's watch a few.
Before I play
seconds.
this, we're going to watch this. Before I play it, guys, there's 83 of you. Thank you guys all for being in this channel. I see more and more comments. Super Chat is open, but we only have 31 likes, guys. Please, we need to beat YouTube's algo, and we need to pump this channel to where it belongs, which is at the top. Smash the likes if you're happy with what you're seeing so far and if you want to support the channel.
Of Sweden. Michael, different stats, but they emphasize the fact that there's huge energy consumption here. In this era of sustainability and ESG and Green New Deals, do you see that as a potential issue?
Well, first of all, I think there's something cruel and tasteless about an entitled rich white male that wants to deprive billions of poor women and children and men in Africa, Asia, and South America of the basic human right of economic self-preservation so he can generate some laughs. And so I think the entire Bitcoin community, they just find it to be tasteless, what he's done, and elitist. With regard to the energy, again, he's a comedian. He hasn't spent 100 hours studying it. The world generates 160,000 terawatt hours of energy a year. Of that, 50,000 terawatt hours of energy is wasted, like 30%. Of that, 120 terawatt hours is used to run the entire Bitcoin network. To put that in perspective, that's 7.5 basis points of all the energy in the world. The truth of the matter is everything on Earth uses more power than a small country. Bill Maher uses 10 times, or electricity that costs 10 times as much as the electricity used in the Bitcoin network to enrich himself. And he's not really thinking about it. If you take all the energy used in the Bitcoin network, it amounts to 25 basis points of all the wasted energy. So 0.25% of the wasted energy in the world offers the hope of a decent life to 8 billion people and solves an economic problem. But the 25 basis points is of the wasted energy, because the Bitcoin network is the bidder of last resort for all energy. So if you eliminated Bitcoin from the world and you robbed the billions of people of a decent chance at a decent life, then you wouldn't stop any waste. You're still going to waste 50,000 terawatt hours of energy. So he's focused upon a nothing. If you actually study the Bitcoin network, you'll find that there's about $1 trillion of assets under management. It's secured by about $2 billion worth of energy a year. Call it 20 basis points. 20 basis
That's
points
probably
of
good there, Mark.
of the energy in the network.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's great. I could listen to him talk about Bitcoin all day. Michael Saylor, he's so great. But yeah, I think it's just kind of such a lazy argument to say that Bitcoin is bad for the environment. It's disrupting the whole financial system that the world relies on, which is an old, archaic system. I mean, come on, let's compare what kind of energy that's already kind of taking up.
More concerning for me is the fact that X% of Bitcoin is powered in China. That's, obviously the environment's important, and it does concern me if there's narrative around that and if it's true. But at the same time, it's more about, the fact that China has so much power around Bitcoin that concerns me more about the impact that it's having environmentally versus other things.
Yeah. I agree 100%. I mean, it's the centralization of the mining, and that's
Exactly.
the problem for sure. And I do think, you know, as renewable energy becomes, you know, as the tech for that becomes more sophisticated, and I think that I think 100% that Elon Musk is going to be part of fixing the problem. You're going to get more mining in the U.S., more mining in all sorts of other countries, hopefully to be help with the decentralization of it. But the one thing about this story, yeah, I mean, looking at the Bitcoin chart and the reaction to it, I don't know about you, Marv, but I bought this dip. I was happy to get in. And at the end, I have this feeling that, you know, Bitcoin, it does this from time to time. It becomes kind of the sleeping giant. I kind of think of it like a volcano, you know, on Crypto Island, and it's just sitting there. It's waiting to erupt, and it's been sleeping. And this is what it does. It's, you know, for weeks, for months, it kind of puts you to sleep. You're thinking about the alts. You're seeing all the action in the alts. You're seeing what ETH's doing, and you forget about Bitcoin. I have been thinking for you know, days, if not weeks, that Bitcoin was getting ready to kind of have a big move up. So I wanted to grab some more Bitcoin. And so this kind of just gave me the perfect opportunity.
Yeah, me too. Me too. You know that I bought some last night after the dip, and I've got reserves to buy more because I'm not 100% sure that the dip is over yet. And I have some fears that we haven't hit the bottom on this dip. And so, you know, anytime that I'm buying dips, I don't go all in on my buy on the dip. We'll never find the perfect bottom, but I want to have some protection, right? And so I bought it. I bought it around 49. It's back at 49 now. I thought it was really smart because it went back up to 51. I'm going, oh, I'm brilliant. You know, I should have bought more, but then here we are, and it went back under 49 today. And so I keep some of those reserves for the ability to buy more of the dip and really kind of see what happens, because things happen so quickly. But at the same time, I want to have enough. I want to have enough to continue to buy if it continues to go down and average down. But yeah, I'm definitely buying Bitcoin, and I do think I'm with you 100%, Milton. I think Bitcoin hasn't moved in a while. We've been watching. It's been the Ethereum show. We know the blue chips are going to move, but when the beast moves, I mean, watch out. Because everyone forgets about
that
the
volcano.
beast.
That volcano's going to erupt.
It's a volcano's going to erupt. 100%. 100%.
Yeah, I didn't buy as much as you did, but I had buy orders in at 49, and then I had some today that hit. I had at 48 and 47. Both of them hit. It just kind of dipped under 47. Now I'm kind of praying and keeping my fingers crossed that this 48-ish level holds. We've got really strong support here at 48. I'm really hoping it holds, because if it doesn't, then I'm going to be a bit worried about the overall market. If we see Bitcoin go down to the next level, 42, everyone says that next support level is 42, which it is.
Right.
I'm going to be worried if we get into that level. I mean, I'll be buying more Bitcoin. Don't get me wrong. If it goes down to 42, I'm still going to be buying.
So what do you mean you're going to be worried? What do you mean by that?
I'm going to be worried about the overall alt market, because, you know, let's not sugarcoat it. I took a beating the last couple of days here. My alts are getting killed here.
You know that I started playing around again with some longs and shorts, and I was shorting the market a bit. I'm sorry, guys, I was. And so I was pretty happy that my prediction came to play, right? I sold off a nice chunk of my profits on the weekend, and I started shorting a little bit on Monday, and so it did play out. I'm not feeling as sad as you are about it, but I'm with you. I agree. If we see Bitcoin come down more, there's going to be more turbulence in the alts, right? And we haven't seen the parabolic movement in the alts yet that we saw months and months back when the bull started. So I hope that we see this maintain itself here and then back up from this point on. That's the hope.
Yeah, and this is kind of the old argument of technical analysis versus fundamental analysis, which is kind of interesting. And I actually found this tweet here. If you want to throw up my screen there, Marv. So this is at Dan Crypto, so DAAN Crypto. He's a trader, a crypto trader. He put this up. So this was interesting. He says BTC 2017 versus 2021. In 2017, we've had a similar ranging formation. And then so he throws up this, and he says that, like, so where we are in the 2021 run is down here in the bottom. I don't know if people can see that with the thing up or overlay up. Oh, okay. And then up here is the 2017 bull run, and he's kind of comparing the charts, and they do look very similar. The 2017 run, we went up to say about 3,000 ish, and then dropped back down to about
we can't see the 2021 run very well. We can see the 2017 run just fine.
Okay, so just I'll just minimize it then again. So here's the charts up one on top of the other. So the bottom one, as you can see, is a very similar dip here that we're experiencing to this 2017 run. Now he goes through in his tweets and he says, take this with a grain of salt, which you should for sure. But it is interesting that who could have predicted that Elon Musk was going to say something and crash the market, but it would result in kind of a technical bar candle happening on the chart, very similar to what we saw in 2017. So you're kind of wondering, okay, well, I wonder who was Elon Musk in 2017 who said something around here. But anyway, as you see, if the pattern continues, I don't think we're going to be having the same pattern this time around. I think it's going to be longer and not as steep of a bull run this time around. But if these charts, from a technical standpoint, this is nothing new in these bull runs. So I'm very hopeful that this is just a blip in what continues to be a great bull run.
I agree. We've got 100 people in our show right now, Milton, and only 45 likes. Guys, do us a huge favor. Smash the like button. Do whatever you can to help the channel by smashing the like. You're supporting the channel. Also, our super chats are on. If you guys have any burning desires to get our attention, please feel free to super chat at any point in time during the show. Milton, we've been on here. What are we going? What's next? Okay, what's next? There's so much happening.
Well, I want to talk a bit about just what effect this narrative of the Bitcoin not being environmentally friendly is going to have on the overall market. And are there plays in the altcoins to take advantage of that? Or did we already miss the boat on that? Is the narrative just a 24-hour narrative? So obviously the big coin, and we've talked about it on this channel before, is Energy Web Token.
Yes,
now they are about renewable energies. They're bringing renewable energies to the blockchain so that we can measure energy in a way. You can trade it. You can do all sorts of things. And they went parabolic after this came out. So people clearly thought that this narrative was going to stick. And they started buying Energy Web, as you can see from their chart here. I actually almost thought about buying this the other day because, as you know, it's one of my favorite coins that I don't own yet. I almost bought at 14. As we see, it shot up after this all the way over $21, 21.6, which I believe is its a new all-time high. $22.22. Yep, new all-time high. It's come back down, but it's still up at 1775. It's kind of creeping back up here. So this was kind of the obvious play that people, and I think the smart one, because this is a really great project, no doubt about it. But there were other coins that were interesting to look at here. So this was a blog post that I was looking at here that just came out recently too, about the 9 most sustainable cryptocurrencies for 2021, something called Leaf Score. So they talked about a coin called Solar Coin, number 1, and BitGreen, number 2. And I had never heard of these ones before.
No one's talking about WazX.
Oh yeah, WazX. What happened to WazX? You got to bring WazX up. We haven't talked about that for months.
Yeah, I know.
So anyway, they also had Cardano, they had Stellar, they even had Ripple, Nano, EOS, Tron, basically all these alternatives. They even had ETH on here. But these two ones, I did notice that Solar Coin and BitGreen on CoinMarketCap here, they were the trending, 2 of the trending coins here, as you can see. BitGreen here was trending, Solar Coin. So I think a lot of people must have found this blog post. But the other one that came up, which seemed to have the best PR at the exact right time, because this seems to be something that's been around a while, is this Chia coin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they had some PR come out just recently. So this is May 6th of this year.
Tristan says, Chia plotting.
So this came out, just a couple of weeks ago. The perfect timing. So I don't know if they're the ones who convinced Musk to tweet that, but this seems to be good for their business. So they had this article on CNN Business about Chia, and I never heard about them either. They've been around a while, and honestly, reading through the article, I was like, I'm not quite sure that this really makes them that much more eco-friendly than anyone else. And I looked at their project here, and as you can see, they came out just recently and then dumped, and they really haven't moved since that news. So people haven't really discovered them yet as an alternative. But I wonder if they get enough traction, if people this might be the next speculative coin in terms of like, if they can build some sort of narrative around.
I guess it depends how long the narrative sticks for right now, right?
Yeah.
If it's 24-hour news, then the narrative will probably continue to come back, but I'm not sure how long it's going to stick for. It's an important narrative, but how, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think it's sticking, so I'm not really worrying about it. I kind of looked into it. I missed the Energy Web pump, which broke my heart because I love Energy Web. The other thing that I learned on our Telegram group, which I was behind on, was that Energy Web actually has this DEX called Carbon Swap. So someone is building a DApp DEX.
Was this Eric?
Energy
Did Eric bring this to your attention?
Well, I don't like saying his name because he gets all shy when we say his name on the channel.
Well, you won't find him anymore. You won't find him in Telegram because it's no longer Eric in there.
That's true. But yeah, someone that maybe has a name that rhymes with Eric told me about this. Anyway, this was very interesting. And this was, again, before Elon. Oh, yeah, he's the best. And I hadn't heard about it, and it's really intriguing. Carbon Swap is a family of interconnected, green, sustainably focused DeFi and NFT products, and they're building on Energy Web because if people don't know, Energy Web is actually its own blockchain. So they do have an ERC20 version of the Energy Web token, but it's really the native token of the Energy Web chain. I haven't jumped into this. The token for Carbon Swap, which you can, if you go on and add liquidity, you can mine it right now. It's called Susu, Susu, which is inspired by a Japanese word, suit, Susu Watari. So it means it's amorous carbon it's made out of. So that's kind of eco-friendly there. Clever. And so, yeah, I'm looking into this Carbon Swap because you know me, I love my DEXs.
Yeah, you do.
And when I first looked at it, when the person who shall remain nameless, Eric, told me about this on our Telegram channel. Also, just another plug there, because obviously it's a great place. I just kind of duck into our Telegram whenever I can, and there's always something interesting being chatted about. And this was something that I noticed. And I think, I don't know, this might be a sleeper here in terms of, because it's on Energy Web, which is so well respected. If the narrative does go anywhere, then I like Carbon Swap more than anything else. I would try Carbon Swap before kind of trying to speculate on any of these solar coins or Bitgreen coins. Or I'm sure that next week there's going to be 100 coins popping up on Binance Smart Chain, eco-friendly coins as well.
Yeah, 100%. Now, is Carbon Swap live? Because I believe
it is. It's its beta version. It's the test version of it. I think you can try it out. I was looking at it, but I didn't jump in yet. But it's very early stages of it. Okay. But I do believe it's live. You have to.
So I know there's an Omni bridge by Carbon Swap, but I didn't know. Yeah. Anyways, we'll have to.
They use the Omni bridge, so you'd have to bridge over through Omni. You'd have to bridge over, and I dealt with this when XDAI months ago. XDAI was going to be the big new chain, right. And I used Omni bridge to go over to XDAI, and so I added Energy Web to my MetaMask. So yeah, you just go in. You'd have to send some tokens to your MetaMask onto the Energy Web, and then you should be able to connect onto Carbon Swap.
Got it.
Through
why?
MetaMask.
Let me ask you a question. What you've been praising Energy Web token for a long time now, way back, Milt. Way
Oh,
back to
I love
me.
it. Yeah,
Before we
way
even
back,
had the
way
show.
back.
Before we even
Yeah.
had this show. Why haven't you grabbed a bag? What's prevented you from getting a bag?
Honestly, I just think it's a longer term play. So I don't know. I just didn't know that it was going to be one of the ones that pumped in this cycle. DeFi was obviously much bigger narrative. So I thought I had more time with it. As you can see here, I was looking at it even from back here, May of 2020. I watched it pump and it kind of pumped up to about $12 and then it came down, and I was thinking of buying back when it came down here, but I just thought I had more time with it. So this latest pump, which it has pumped with the market, but not really as much as some of the other coins. So I still believe that some of my other DeFi plays right now were smarter for this time period because they've got the hype. But I do think it might be the next cycle that Energy Web becomes a top 10 or a huge coin. I know I'm going to kick myself though, Marv, if I don't.
One
have
of those where you are going to kick
pumps.
yourself.
Yeah.
I want some too. I haven't picked it up yet. I want some. I'm going to wait and see what happens over the weekend. But it's still pumping. It's still pumping. So
it's just such a great, it's the fundamentals of it are so great. It's got so many partnerships in the real world. It's working with such, huge industries in the real world. But so it's not one of those kind of ones that a lot of people in crypto talk about. And that usually, is what you need for the big pumps. And that's why I've just kind of waited, because I feel like I can be patient with this one in a way that
I don't know.
Maybe I might be wrong.
Yeah, no, I don't know if you're wrong or not. I'm also super bullish on it, and I do want to pick some up. We've got 93 people in here, only 59 likes. I'm not sure. I know we tried to do the show early in the day. We had some issues. We apologize for that. We also want to come up with some awesome promotions and contests for the live show specifically, guys. And so we're thinking about giving away significant, sizable things in terms of cashola of tokens, and we're going to come up with some fun stuff to increase the viewership and also increase those likes, because we need those YouTube algos, guys. We need them. And so at the very least, do us a huge favor and smash the like button. We do have a super chat that's coming in here, Milty. I don't know if you want to check it out now or you want to wait a bit.
We might as well check it out. Seems like a good little break in the action here for a super chat.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Audrey San says, hey guys, unrelated to the topic, but here it goes. Are you still in Panther Swap? And if so, are you considering pulling out due to the price going down? Audrey, good question. Very good question. Milty, I know we've both been in Panther. Full disclosure, guys. So, when it comes to these things, first of all, I think it's a good thing to bring up. Should I bring it up on my screen real quick? I don't want to.
Bring it up, Marv. This is a great question.
Yeah, this is a great question. Oh yeah. Sorry.
So as you bring it up, let me say, because I'm still in Panther. So, but this is, I really wanted to say this, and next show I'm going to talk about this even more. The next live show, because I got to hammer this home for everyone, because I just want to make this disclaimer. I know we say this every time, but the percentage of my portfolio that are in high risk alts or in farming is so small that I don't really worry about it. And so when I go into these yielding farm projects like Panther, which I still like, even though the price has taken a beating, I'm not worried so much about it because it's such a small percentage of my portfolio. So I stayed in Panther, which ultimately was a bad decision at this point. I should have gotten out earlier, but I have harvested enough Panther to sell to get my initial investment back. And so that's what I've done. I got my initial investment back, so I'm not really worried about what's left in Panther.
Yeah, and listen, so I've sold off a lot. I've harvested all of my gains off Panther, and I actually sold the majority of Panther that I sold off was around $2.90. My original entry point on Panther, by the way, was about $3.60, and I averaged all the way down on the dips. And I'm still in a very profitable position. on Panther overall. One thing I will say is that the APR has gone down significantly on the two primary pools that I was interested in, which is the BUSD and the BNB. However, that said, 1,200 and 1,300% are still significant. And where the price is now at $1.24, and the TVL is growing back. Don't forget the whole market took a beating, but their TVL is still almost $250 million. It's a 237. You can't see it on my screen, unfortunately. $237 million in total value locked. So Panther is growing, although the price might be down a bit right now. As a whole, they're growing. And so I'm actually considering coming back in and buying some more Panther right now or today, depending on what happens in the market, to get back onto some of these, to build my bag a little bigger, to get back into some of the better gains on the 1,200 APR. But for me, it's a shorter term play. It's not a long-term play. This isn't Kusama. As Milton said, you know, this isn't an investment for me. Well, first of all, it's a very small investment out of our portfolio. And second of all, I'm in and out of these things continuously. And so I may be in for a month, a few weeks, or, you know, with auto, I'm still in it. And that's been months and months. But it really depends. It depends on where I think it's going to move, what the APR is, if it's shifting, and so forth and so on. And so there's a lot of factors that go in. I do think where the price is right now, it's quite attractive, to be honest with you. I do. I think it's quite attractive.
I mean,
the
I
TVL
think they're, yeah. So like, yeah, for me, it was a bit of, I agree with you, Marv. Like this is what people need to think about when we talk about farming, because it is something that I do a lot of. And as someone said in the comments, the Binance Smart Chain farming has across the board taken a hit, because I'm in a lot of these platforms. I'm not just on Panther. All of them are down from when I went in. But the reason I did the Panther episode, or we did the Panther episode originally, is because it was brand new and we saw the 8,000 APY. And what you got to do with these, it's a bit like whack-a-mole, these yield farming sites. One, there's a lot of scam sites. So you got to be aware of the scam yield farming sites. You got to have enough there's got to be enough in the project to say, okay, I think this one has enough fundamentals. There's something to it. I don't think these guys are trying to scam. And that's a bit of a guessing game, because it's mostly anonymous teams and stuff. But, you know, they can build in different ways that they can't rug pull and stuff like that you can check out. But when it's new and it has that 8,000 APY, you can kind of do the math in your head. So I got in, you know, not that early, actually. It was about $3 Panther price. And now it's down to $1.24, I believe, 125. But I said to myself, okay, at 8,000%, if this goes down, even in, you know, I think it's been maybe a week or two since I've been in it, I knew I could get my money back, even if it went down 60, 70% in price, which I know is probably the likelihood, because everyone is yield farming so much of this Panther and most people are selling. And I don't blame them. They should be. You should at least get your money out, take some profit, and then either take all of it out and take a bunch of profit if you think the price is going to tank. Or what I do is I just leave whatever's in there. And now I have kind of a bucket of investments in all these sort of yield farming plays on BSC, but I've already taken out my initial money. So I don't even really think about it. Yeah. And you also have to worry about impermanent loss and the fees. So just make sure you're doing the math. The impermanent loss, keep that in mind. And also the fees that they charge, make sure you're keeping that in mind and weighing that against the APY.
Yeah, I think those are all very, very valid points. The most valid of all is the percentage of our portfolio that we're actually dabbling in these on is very small. But I was really happy with it. I got significant gains. I'm seeing a good question here. It's not a super, but I just want to pull it up. Should I sell all my BNB to buy KSM? From Alan.
Wow.
Bold.
I mean, that would be a bold move. I say no. Obviously, my rule of thumb here, and I can bring up the BNB chart again. I don't, I'm not selling in the red and buying in the green. And right. So Kusama has really bounced.
I agree.
In the last, like I bought the last dip of Kusama at 300. I told you all that. I didn't have any Kusama. I was really excited to get in at 300. That ended up being a good spot. I'd say almost the reverse here. I would not sell Kusama just because the parachains are coming and I want to be involved in that and stuff like that. But in terms of like just kind of trading philosophy, No, I would not be trading BNB when it's down so significant and buying into a coin that is pumped so significantly in the last little while.
Yeah, that's
Because
great
I think
advice.
they're both blue chips.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I have the same take. Listen, Kusama is up significantly. It's had a major bump. I think it's going to continue to go up, but I think you're going to see BNB come back probably pretty strong, pretty quick, especially if the market if it turns back for the green. So I don't think it's the best move to sell all of your BNB to jump into Kusama right now. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to be buying BNB right now. I did buy some Kusama on the dip, but I think I'm going to buy some more BNB as well. Okay, we've got 95 people here. 95 people, only 63 likes. I think it's the worst out of all of our likes so far as a show. So please do us a huge favor and smash that like button. If you don't already, please subscribe to the channel. We really, really appreciate it. As you know, this show is a work in progress. Any feedback we will take seriously. Comment below and let us know. Super chats are open. We've been live for almost an hour here, Milton. And so the show is dragging along, as they say. What do we got next?
All right. Well, we're talking about Kusama, so let's talk about this. This is just a fun little thing. Remember, we talked about parachains for a long time on the show a couple of shows ago. And in that show, I kind of jokingly threw out that if there was a predictive market on who was going to get the parachains, I would want to participate in that. I'd like to throw a couple of bets on who's going to get the parachains. Well, the project Zeitgeist, which is a predictive market that's being built on Kusama, came out with this. They are going to do the Kusama Parachain Derby, where you can basically choose who you think is going to win these parachains as they start. So it's actually, I was pretty excited when I first read it, and then I read what you had to do to be involved, and it's pretty convoluted. There's a lot of stuff you got to do to be involved. So I probably won't end up doing it, but I think it is a fun idea. If anyone has more patience than me, I would say check it out. But interesting that they threw out, so this is who they threw up here as the choices based on the Rococo testnet projects. They have Kurura, which we talked about, which is the Akala one. They had Moon River, which is the Moonbeam, Kala, which is Fala's, Robonomics, which we didn't talk a lot about last time, is on here. That's another cool project that you can get on BSC now. Kilt, our fave, Equilibrium, Hydra, Shiden, which is the Plasm, I believe, and Darwinia, which is Ring. And then you can also vote to see that none of these will, and a dark horse might prevail. But I thought this was pretty fun of Zeitgeist. Zeitgeist is a project people should have on their radar. Their token is ZBP. I don't believe it is out yet, but very interesting project being built on Kusama. But what do you think here, Marv? Who would you have put your money on if you joined this derby?
Well, I like to put my money where my mouth is, and I would likely be picking Kilt, to be honest, on this one. I love betting, you know. I like to gamble, and so. But
I was really hoping this would just be an easy
to be
site
honest,
where you could just go and bet on this.
I know. I'm a little biased. Moonbeam has a fantastic chance. Yeah, and so I can't see your screen. It's too. You got to zoom it in on that chart there. Can you zoom? Do you know how to zoom?
I can't zoom.
Use your mouse. Use your mouse, man. Come on, it's 2021. Just zoom the damn thing in. There we go, and fix it up a bit. Just move your there. You see, guys, we're teaching Milton things every day, yeah. So that's better. That's way better. Yeah, man, it's a tough one. I would definitely throw a few bets out there. I like it.
I also want to know what the odds are. Because, obviously if it was just even odds, I'm putting it on Akala. But if I could get odds on Kilt,
that's what I mean. I was going to ask that. Yeah, because you got Akala is probably the easy bet, but the odds are probably low in terms of what you're going to win on that. That's interesting. Super interesting.
Yeah,
That's fun.
so yeah, this Zeitgeist is fun. But if any crypto wisers out there find like an actual easy site where you can just bet on this stuff, this one you have to kind of join a bunch of stuff, and because they haven't launched yet, it's kind of through a faucet and stuff like that. So I don't think I'm going to do this one, but I would, if there was just a site I could easily place bets, I would love to do that for the parachains. But anyway, on this topic, I wanted to throw out a couple of buy low candidates here in this ecosystem. Chain X, we mentioned last time, they're up about 6% today, but they've been down. So I do own some Chain X, to be transparent. They were up over $16. Now they're down just under 10. And I think Darwinia here, Ring, is a bit of a long shot for a parachain, but I do think they're going to get one eventually, just a matter of when. They're down 4%, and they're down pretty big from their all-time high. So I think Ring is a project people should look into. Their all-time high was at 30 cents, and they're at 9 cents now. So I think they're an interesting one to look at too. So I just want to throw that out there.
That is cool.
A couple of long shot dark horses for parachains. I think both Chain X and Darwinia get a parachain, but I think it won't be the first one. Maybe it's, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, whatever. But I'm really curious to see what happens to the price of these projects when it's announced that they land that parachain.
I want to know from our audience, what would you pick? What is your pick? Let us know in the comments. We've got quite a bit of people in here. 69 likes. Thank you so much. Continue to like it. Come on, guys. Come on. Someone just took their like away. Don't you find that hilarious? They take their bloody like away, and where do they put it? Where did they put it? Come on. We need it. Anyways, there's so much happening here. There's also some more news here that I just wanted to jump on real quick. We were talking about the dog coins earlier. I don't know if you've read this yet, Milton, or heard about it, but I think you know that the Ethereum founder Vitalik was gifted 50% of the SHIB coin, right? So the founders just sent it to his wallet. And oddly enough, he decided to donate all of those tokens to COVID relief in India, to an organization in India for COVID relief, which actually sent the coin down over 30% on the day. But obviously Vitalik is saying, hey, thanks for the gift. I'm going to gift these out right away. He could have cashed those coins. He had over $1 billion worth of SHIB coins. And he decided to donate them all. Now, obviously, as they sell it off, and it's down from where it was, so I don't think it's worth $1 billion anymore, and I think it will probably continue to go down. Not financial advice, I don't know. Could do the opposite, but I found that to be super interesting, that he donated it all in an effort for COVID relief in India.
Oh yeah, that was fascinating. I mean, I'm not in the meme coins at all. So, I get to just laugh at it. But for those who lost money, I feel really bad because it did tank the price of whatever that Shiba coin was. But honestly, guys, when I get questions, I'm getting questions left, right, and center right now about these meme coins. God, I can't stand them. Let me know what you guys think about them. There's so many great projects in crypto, and all anyone's talking about, my cousin's here, my second cousin there, all they want to know about is these meme coins. But I thought what Vitalik did was pretty funny, not having any sort of stake in it, and pretty great of them. Hilarious that they kind of backfired. I don't know.
I love
Vitalik. Did it backfire on them? Did it backfire on them?
Well,
giving him all those tokens, did that backfire, or is that just worth it for marketing that they got out of it?
So I think for the marketing alone, it was probably definitely worth it. The fact that 50% of them was worth over $1 billion, I think it works. At the same time, obviously, in terms of the longevity, they were hoping he would just chill with them in his wallet. But he did the exact opposite and donated it. So short term definitely worked. Long term, I think it will probably backfire.
So it looks like we got another super chat here, Marv.
We got another super. Yeah, we do. Here, I'm bringing it in. As you notice, I removed the bottom bar just temporarily so we could see a little bit more of the screen. All right, this one's for you, Milty. Future Forward, thank you so much for the super. Really appreciate it. Kton over Ring Token. Kton is the staking reward token, 100% APY.
Yeah, so this is, I just brought this up. I actually didn't know about this because I'm not in Ring, which I think is a great project. But so I guess they have this Darwinia commitment token, which is if you stake it, I'm gathering, you get this Kton token, and it's up 11%. It's at $139.33. Market cap just under 6 million.
Yeah.
Interesting. Fully diluted market cap of under 10 million.
Wow.
2
That is
million in volume. See where it's on Uniswap, it's on Gate.io, Poloniex. Very interesting. I did not know that they had this second token.
So you see, Future Forward's always bringing good intel to this channel. Thank you very much,
really
Future
is.
Forward.
Yeah, or they are. We're not sure who they are, but so Kton is a derivative commitment token of Ring, Darwinian Network native token, which encourages long-term involvement. Ring holders can voluntarily lock Ring for 3 to 36 months and get Kton as rewards, compensating for the liquidity loss. Kton can be staked for staking rewards and obtained voting power to participate in the governance. Very interesting. Good to know.
That is good. I like it. And I like Ring. Darwinia's been a project. I've actually had a small bag of it for a long time, as you know. And it's a solid project. That's good intel.
Well, yeah, you should have been staking it here for the Kton.
Well, I don't, this is...
You're not a big staker. You're not a big staker.
No, that's not true. I do stake. I stake.
You don't? No, but you don't like to be locked up. You don't like your coins locked up. I'm the opposite. So this is where, we're a good team because we're very different investors, very different. I love getting my yield. Even when they're like, you got to lock up forever. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do it. Just give me the yield. And you're the opposite. You want to be able to sell at any moment.
I like liquidity. I love staking. I love the rewards. You know it. We talked about, stuff like Panther and blah, 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 blah. We've been in it all, auto, all this stuff. I love my rewards. I love my cake. We brought cake to the channel. But at the same time, I want liquidity. I've been in crypto a long time. That last bear, it was long and it was painful. And the biggest pain came from tokens that I had locked up for other reasons or various reasons. When the liquidity shriveled up into nothing and the token died down, I was crying in the fetal position in my bedroom for months on end. And so I don't want that to happen again. And so I'm playing things a little bit differently. I'm still staking. I generally don't stake or take vesting contracts for more than a few months. And that's one question then that actually brings to my mind, Milton, with respect to the parachains, right? And this parachain that we're talking about on Kusama, I believe the staking's like 2 years in exchange for every one Kusama, you get 12 of the native token that you're staking for. And so it's 2 years. I think it's 24 months. Correct me, guys, if I'm wrong. It's a long period.
It's up to 24. So the parachains are 6 months. So 6 months is the shortest parachain lease that you can get. And then 2 years is the longest. So you're bringing up this idea that Karara, the Akala, Kusama project, they came out with this Medium post which explained what their crowd loan was going to be. So for them, they did say that you will receive 12 or more cars, which is the native token of Karara.
That's what I was
which will be minted at launch. And so that's what they've come out for. So that's what they're offering here. They've come out with all the information about their crowd loan, how they're doing it for Kusama. So they're obviously the
between 6 and 24 months. So between 6 and 24, and you get 12. Well, I guess it depends how long you lease it for, which lease you take, right? Yeah. But 12 cars. So what's the car worth? I guess is the bet that we're taking.
That's the risk for sure. I mean, and the other thing to remember is if you have Kusama or DOT, so I have my DOT staked right now, and it's a 30-day. DOT's pretty long, so when the DOT parachains come, you're going to have to decide, you're going to have to kind of plan around on staking if you want to use some of that for the parachains. I purposely did not stake my Kusama because of that, so that I'll have the option to participate.
Dot is
if I
something.
want
Yeah,
to.
so that's a very good point because of the parachains. You don't want your dot locked for a long period of time, I guess, if you want to participate in the chain. But at the same time, dot is one of the only projects that I have no fear staking for a year or 2 years if I need to. Now, Kusama, I'm a little worried about staking my Kusama for a long period of time because 2 years seems like a long time. That gives DOT a long time to come to market. And I know, there's a lot of talk about Kusama not going anywhere, but I still have some inherent fears about what Kusama's lifespan will be when DOT is fully out.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think I trust that they've thought this all through. I'm going to tell you what my strategy is going to be. I'm going to do both. I'm going to give some of my Kusama for the crowd loan, lock it up for a couple of years, but I'm holding some back. Because if the parachains make Kusama go parabolic, then I will sell that kind of stash, at least take hopefully get my initial kind of investment out of Kusama. Then I don't have to worry about it. And I'm going to do the same for DOT. So I'm going to put a lot in the parachains, or I might stake some, but I'm going to hold back a little, just a bit of my stash, just maybe 10% or so, to sell if DOT goes crazy. And then the rest, I'm happy to lock up for a couple of years.
Wow. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm not going to lie. I'm probably going to keep my KSM liquid. I might do some short-term stuff. My DOT, I'm happy to stake and happy to lease out in the chains for a long, long time. But even though I don't think that Kusama's probably going anywhere, I have a feeling that Kusama's going to pump in the next couple months, like really pump and see some tremendous new all-time highs. And I want to have liquidity to be able to take some of those profits at that time, because I think some of the air is going to come out as DOT supersedes it over time. And so,
well, I also think what will be interesting to watch is, okay, so the first parachain crowd loan is happening already. Okay, so Kurara, top project, they're already announcing their crowd loan. Okay, so we've got a bunch of people with Kusama right now that we've all been excited waiting for these parachains. Probably there are going to be a lot of people who are excited to go in on this crowd loan.
Yeah.
Now, as the parachains fill up and the amount of people out there with available Kusama to give, are the projects that are trying for parachains, are they going to have to pay more in rewards to entice the people like you who are like, I don't want to give up my Kusama?
I think so.
I think the rewards. So I think getting in early to a parachain might seem more expensive at first, but I think that the ability to get people's Kusama is going to get harder and harder, and the same with DOT. And I think so those projects are going to have to give up even more in rewards, I think.
I think that's a great point. I agree with you completely. The rewards must outweigh the risk in this case for me to really lock it up for anything. 6 months would be my absolute max for KSM on this lease, to be frank.
Yeah, I don't know that everyone's going to give you that option, because I think it's up to the project to decide
right
what kind of length of lease they want. I think they're going to have the ability to borrow Kusama and DOT in those increments too, maybe, but I don't know that for sure. I think if they want a 2-year lease, you got to give them your Kusama for the 2 years. I think that's right.
Well, listen, we've got a lot of people in here, 73 likes. Please smash that like button. Milty, we've been on here a long time. I mean, are people getting annoyed with our voices yet? I don't know. Let us know if you're sick of Milton's voice. I know mine is quite soothing. I get a lot of comments about how soothing my voice is and relaxing. And so I'm even thinking of doing a late night show of just me humming to help put people to sleep.
Some people think that I sound like Matthew McConaughey.
You do.
Is that true?
Well, listen, I don't know. If there's ladies in here, let us know.
Well, a guy can think that I sound like McConaughey. It doesn't have to be like a romantic thing. Come on, Marv.
It sounds romantic. McConaughey's he's a sexy, handsome dude, Like when I think of Matthew McConaughey, I'm thinking about girls saying, how attractive he is.
I want to know, what do people think Marv's voice sounds like? Who does Marv sound like? That's what I want to know.
Tell me.
But today was a great episode, Marv. As
I would
always.
take Howard Stern. Howard Stern would be fantastic. If someone said Howard Stern, they'd be on my favorites list by far, without a doubt. You're going to be my new favorite.
He's got a great voice.
Yeah. Love
The
for
thing
Milton.
I've always said to you, Marv, you've got a face for radio. And so you probably do have a perfect radio voice as well.
You think? Thank you. I really appreciate that. Well, it has been an amazing show. So grateful for everyone that joined us today, Milton. Thank you so much, as always, for the amazing information that you bring to our people, our peeps. I know we've got some amazing new content coming out. We're working with some new projects. We've been doing a ton of research, and there's some freaking exciting stuff happening. So we're going to keep on it. Stay tuned to the channel. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Please do us a huge favor and subscribe to the channel. Click on that notifications bell. That bell's going to get you real-time alerts when we go live or release new videos. And I think, Milton, are we going live this weekend, buddy?
Yeah, we're going to go live on Sunday.
Stay tuned and make sure to join us on Sunday. And in the meantime, if you want to have a chat with either of us or any of us, join us on Telegram at Cryptowise Official. That's where you'll find us over the weekend as we dig into more altcoins and more cryptocurrency. As always, guys, thank you so much. This is Milton and Marvin signing over and out.